Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Peace-I. Welcome to another video. We're continuing to read the Baby Owner's Manual. So, last time we left off in the conclusion of Chapter 3, or the conclusion of Chapter 2, so we're starting Chapter 3 now. Feeding, understanding the baby's power supply. Programming the baby's feeding schedule. There are no definitive guidelines for how much food the baby should consume. Every model is unique and has specific needs. However, extensive studies indicate that most newborns eat 2 to 3 ounces, 59 to 88 milliliters, per feeding, every 3 to 4 hours. These habits may fluctuate based on health, activity, growth spurts, and even outdoor weather conditions. As the baby ages, she will require fewer feedings. My son is only 22 days old, and he pounded out 90 milliliters of breast milk in the morning, and then like less than an hour later, he pounded out another 70. So it can definitely fluctuate. Gauging the baby's feeding, month 1. To ensure a proper feeding schedule for your model, be aware of the following 3 gauges. Weight gain. After her first week, during which the baby may lose up to 1/10 of her birth weight, a newborn will generally gain up to 1 ounce, 28 grams, per day. If the baby's weight follows this schedule, you can assume the baby is receiving enough food. Note how much weight the baby has gained at the next visit to the baby's service provider. If the baby's weight follows or closely meets this schedule, she is most likely receiving the right amount of food. Physical cues. The baby's built-in rooting reflex, see page 161, can help you gauge appetite. If the baby is hungry, she may activate the rooting reflex. Her mouth may open and she may appear to be searching for food. Diapers. Most well-fed babies have 6 to 8 wet or soiled diapers every day. Gauging the baby's feeding, months 2 through 6. During each model's 2nd through 6 months, breast milk or formula is considered on a most reliable schedule. Consumed, not considered. By the 4th month, she may be ready to consume simple solid foods such as rice cereal, though many users do not stop breastfeeding at this time. There are no definitive guidelines for how much food the baby should or should not consume. Most models will eat 8 times a day and less frequently with age. If you are concerned about her intake, focus on the following 3 gauges. Weight gain. During this period, the baby will gain about 1/2 to 1 ounce, 14 to 28 grams per day. Wow. Note how much weight the baby has gained at the next visit to the baby service provider. If the baby's weight follows or closely meets this schedule, she is most likely receiving the right amount of food. Physical cues. The baby's rooting reflex will evolve into a more purposeful search for food. The baby may attempt to latch onto your arm or suck on her fingers to indicate she is hungry. As a result, it will be easier to tell when the baby is hungry. During this period, the baby will probably cue the user for food every 3 to 4 hours. I think my baby's a little bit advanced because he's acting more like a 2 to 3 month old than a 3-week-old. Diapers. Monitor the baby's diapers to determine if all food has been properly processed. As you introduce the baby to solid foods, the waist will thicken and will adopt the color of the food. Interesting. He is out. All right, last portion, gauging the baby's feeding, months 7 through 12. During the 7th to 12th months, the baby will begin to demand food on a regular schedule. Though the baby's primary diet will be breast milk or formula, begin supplementing the diet with a variety of solid foods, pureed fruits, vegetables, and eventually finger foods, meats, and other proteins. By the 7th month, users should have a clear sense of how much food the baby requires. If you are concerned about her intake, focus on the following 3 gauges. Weight gain. Your baby will gain approximately half an ounce, 14 grams per day. This indicates normal functioning and food consumption. Physical cues. By this point, the baby's physical cues, crying, gumming objects, and attempting to eat her hands, should be very familiar and obvious. Also, the baby's desire for food may begin to coincide with your own personal meal times, though the baby will require additional snacks in between. Diapers. As you continue introducing the baby to solid foods, her waist will thicken and will resemble the color of her food. Soiled diapers will continue to be a good indication that the food consumption process is working properly. Expert tip. In general, the baby will consume approximately 6 to 8 ounces, 177 to 236 milliliters of milk 4 to 6 times per day, in addition to any solid foods. Holy cannoli. Demand feeding versus flexible scheduled feeding. Most users employ one or both of the following techniques to determine if their model requires nourishment. Demand feeding. All models come pre-equipped with physical cues to indicate that additional food is necessary. These cues may include, but are not limited to, crying, rooting, and gnawing on hands. Users who employ demand feeding offer food upon receiving one of these cues. Flexible scheduled feeding. Preferred among users with babies older than 3 months, flexible scheduled feeding involves offering food every 2 to 4 hours, with adjustments based on the baby's sleeping habits, growth conditions, and health. This allows the user to establish a daily routine. All right, next is breast milk versus formula, selecting the baby's food source. All right, so there's a list of pros and cons here on the next page, so I'll briefly go over these. The baby's first food may be provided through either breast milk or formula. Pediatricians, nurses, midwives, and other service providers in the baby care industry agree that human milk is the superior food source and will lead a baby to deliver peak performance. However, some users are unable to breastfeed, and others find that it is impractical. Consider the options and choose what works best for you. Breast milk. Pros. Less expensive, readily available, most natural method of feeding, supplies antibodies and other valuable enzymes, enhances mother-child bonding, aids in postpartum uterine contraction, aids in pacification of baby. Cons. Mother may feel strapped to baby, less sleep for mother, more frequent feedings. Father may feel left out. Formula. Pros. Anyone can provide feeding. Fewer feedings required. Easy to measure food intake. Easier to feed baby while traveling. No medication or dietary concerns for mother. Cons. No antibodies in formula. More expensive. More equipment required. More preparation required. Fair. All right, page 74. Breastfeeding the baby. The breasts of the male parent are not compatible with the baby's food intake system. If you are the male parent, we recommend that you read this information very carefully and then transfer this section of the manual to the female parent for her review. Interesting how they assume that the dads are reading this book. Baby's owner's manual. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because guys are super into owner's manuals. That's really funny. The basics of breastfeeding. The baby comes preloaded with the instincts and skills to begin breastfeeding almost immediately. The baby owner, on the other hand, requires additional training. Familiarize yourself with the following terms. Colostrum. Breasts produce a thick orange-yellow fluid during the baby's first days. Colostrum is rich in antibodies, proteins, and protective essentials. Foremilk and hindmilk. Breasts usually transfer 2 different kinds of milk during a single feeding. First, the baby receives foremilk, a thin, watery liquid that satisfies the baby's hydration needs. This is followed by hindmilk, which is richer, thicker, and vital to a baby's health and growth. Letdown reflex. When the baby begins to feed, the letdown reflex may The letdown reflex may activate automatically within the nursing mother. Her body releases hormones that stimulate milk production and release milk from her nipples. Be aware that some mothers never experience the letdown reflex. This is normal. Engorged breasts. The mother's breasts may fill in advance to accommodate a feeding schedule, causing a potentially uncomfortable engorgement. A user may relieve the pressure of engorged breasts by feeding the baby, applying a warm or cold compress, or using a breast pump. Expert tip: if you use a breast pump to relieve engorgement, do not express more than an ounce, 29 milliliters at a time. The more milk your body expresses, the more it will produce. Essential breastfeeding accessories. The following accessories may serve to make breastfeeding easier. All are readily available at your local retailer. Breastfeeding pillows. Oh man, we have one of those. Where is it? Oh, it's over there. Looks like a giant neck pillow. Well, here, I'll show you the picture in here. Looks like that, the first one. These specifically designed pillows fit around the mother's body and help support the baby during feeding. Uh-oh. Mommy just left and now he's stirring. Actually, I think I'm overheating and I'm making him hot. Oh, the newborn scrunch. Are you waking up, buddy? Hey, check out the newborn scrunch. Cutie. Wow, you are so handsome. You want to wake up, or are you going back to sleep? Or are you hungry? Nope, little baby's going back to sleep. Slings. Some users find that over-the-shoulder carry slings, page 30, provide useful support during breastfeeding. Comfortable chairs or rockers. Chairs that match the mother's body type and sitting style can increase comfort during feeding. Many users enjoy adding an ottoman. Nursing shirts and bras. Nursing shirts with overlapping slits rather than buttons can make accessing breasts easier. Nursing bras can also provide easy access, as well as dryness protection after feeding. Purchase bras after milk comes in, as breast size will change. Breast pumps and supplies. Optional. A breast pump is a manual or electromechanical device that extracts milk from the user's breasts. The pump enables the female parent to take a break from constant feeding and provide the male parent with a chance to feed the baby. This accessory is rather expensive. You may opt to rent one from the baby service provider or a local hospital. It should be used in conjunction with storage bottles and bags with delivery bottles and nipples. I don't know if it's every hospital, but our hospital gave us a pump for free. So that we have food for feedings, like now that she's out, or at nighttime if she's asleep and it's my shift, then we'll feed him the milk that we pumped. But yeah, the pump is, like, I think absolutely essential if you want to breastfeed, because like it said in one of the cons, like, you're glued to the baby. And I mean, that's the natural way, but what are you doing? Oh, whoa. Calm down, buddy. Oh man, you're getting angry. You should see his face right now. It's like, what are you doing? All right, hold on. I need to take care of my little man. Okay, he was just stretching. Never mind. All right. Where was I? Oh, okay. How to eat a good nursing diet. The contents of breast milk vary depending on what kinds of foods the mother consumes. To give the baby the benefits of a healthy diet and to guarantee peak performance, follow these guidelines. Number 1, adjust your calorie intake. Users are advised to increase their daily intake by 300 to 500 calories. Ask the baby service provider if this is necessary for you and your model. Number 2, eat a well-balanced diet. This includes, but is not limited to, several servings of whole grains. I don't recommend that. Cereals, no. Fruits, oh yeah. Vegetables, I don't think so. And dairy products daily, as well as plenty of protein, calcium, and iron. Yep, we got it. Number 3, avoid tobacco, caffeine, and alcohol. Duh. Research suggests that smoking tobacco while breastfeeding has a direct correlation to sudden infant death syndrome. See page 215. Caffeine is acceptable in moderation. That's what the coffee companies want you to think. But plan accordingly. Consume caffeine only after breastfeeding so the caffeine can pass through your system prior to the next feeding. Similar planning is necessary for alcohol consumption, but it is recommended that you avoid beer, wine, and cocktails altogether. Number 4, some users may want to exercise discretion with spicy foods. Milk that is tainted with flavors such as curry, garlic, or ginger will make some models unhappy. Others will not notice. Be mindful of when you eat these foods and note your model's response. Number 5, avoid gassy foods if the baby suffers from colic. See page 201. Number 6, consult the baby service provider about vitamins, medication, and supplements. Many users continue taking prenatal vitamins while breastfeeding. Always check with the baby service provider before taking any supplements or prescription medications. Number 7, drink a minimum of 64 ounces, 1.9 liters of water per day. Number 8, avoid weight loss diets. Caution, if you elect to begin a weight loss diet, consult the service provider to ensure the baby will receive proper nutrition. Avoid diet pills and plan on losing 1 pound per week, balancing a healthy diet with exercise. Wait at least 6 weeks after the baby's birth before attempting to lose weight. Be aware that most female users will not return to their pre-baby mass until 10 to 12 months after delivery. Also be aware that the act of breastfeeding burns about 300 calories a day. Number 9, watch for allergy symptoms. If the baby exhibits symptoms such as gas, diarrhea, rash, or general fussiness, he may have a dairy allergy. Eliminate dairy products from your diet for 2 weeks and see if the baby's condition improves. If it does, present these findings to the baby service provider. All right, page 78. I can't wait for you to be older so I can show you these videos and show you your baby scrunch, newborn scrunch. That fresh baby smell. Wow. My baby. Breastfeeding positions. The user may choose to breastfeed the baby in any number of positions. Listed below are 3 of the most common. Advanced users may modify these positions into a variation that feels most comfortable. Expert tip: many users undress themselves and the baby before breastfeeding. Increasing the amount of skin-to-skin contact may stimulate both the feeding response and the production of milk. Cradle hold. This general all-purpose hold is one of the easiest positions for beginning users to maintain. Figure A. Figure A must be on the next page. Number 1, sit in a comfortable seat. Use pillows to support your arms, back, and the baby's weight. Place feet on a footstool if desired. Number 2, cradle the baby with the head near the breast you wish to use. Number 3, turn the baby so he faces you. Your breast will face the baby's face. Number 4, tuck in the baby's arms to decrease his mobility. Number 5, prompt the baby to latch on. See page 82. Football hold. This hold is often used by mothers recovering from cesarean section because it prevents the baby from resting on the incision. It can be used with any model regardless of mode of delivery. Figure B. Number 1, sit in a comfortable seat. Wedge pillows under your arm and place your feet on a footstool. Number 2, slide one arm under the baby's body, back and head so that his feet are between your side and arm. If you are feeding from the left breast, use the left arm. If you are feeding from the right breast, use the right arm. Support the baby's head and neck with your arm. Number 3, turn the baby's body to face your own. Number 4, tuck the baby's torso snugly under your armpit. Number 5, encourage the baby to latch on. See page 82. Lying down. This position is most frequently used at night. This is also beneficial if the mother is feeling tired. Figure C. Number 1, lie down. If you wish to use your left breast, lie on your left side. If you wish to use your right breast, lie on your right. Number 2, place one pillow behind your body, another under your head, and one between your knees. Number 3, place the baby next to your breast. His body should face your body, and his face should be level with your breast. Number 4, place a pillow on the backside of the baby to keep him snug against your body. All right, and here is the diagram showing the figures A through C. You guys see it? Yeah, you can. Number 5, prompt the baby to latch on. See page 82. Breastfeeding in public. Breastfeeding in public is acceptable in most venues. Use the following techniques to make the practice more comfortable. Figure D. Find a quiet, comfortable location. If you are outside, find an unpopulated area, preferably with a bench or seat. If you are in a restaurant or department store, ask the hostess or sales clerk if there's a private area or office available. Number 2, use the cradle or football hold. Spread a blanket over the baby and your shoulder. This blanket functions as a tent, covering the baby's head and your exposed breast. The blanket should not be too heavy or too close to the baby's face. Number 3, begin feeding. See page 82. Number 4, burp the baby. See page 94 with the blanket covering your breast and the baby's body. When you are ready to switch breasts, move the blanket. You trying to escape me? Cannot escape. How dare you be so cute? All right, page 82. Latching on. A proper latch is essential for good breastfeeding. A weak latch between your model and your breast will lead to inefficient, frustrating, and often painful breastfeeding. Number 1, face the baby toward the breast. This will give the baby a clear view of his food source. The baby's body should be straight from head to toe. Number 2, activate the baby's rooting reflex. Stroke the baby's cheek with a finger. The baby should turn in the direction of the stimulus. His mouth port open and ready to accept food. Figure A. Number 3, raise the baby's head and body toward the breast. Always bring the baby toward the breast. Never bring the breast toward the baby. They don't explain why. All right. Number 3, raise the baby's head toward... Oh, I just read that. Number 4, seal the baby's mouth around the nipple and areola. A proper latch will form a tight seal between the baby and breast. Figure B. The baby's bottom lip should be folded outward. If he only has a nipple and or part of the areola, the latch may be painful to the mother and is not as satisfying for the baby. Number 5, once he has latched on, move the baby's entire body toward your own. Depending on your position, add additional pillows for increased support. Figure C. Number 6, feeding should begin automatically. As the baby feeds, the ears will move and you will hear him swallowing. Number 7, to break the latch, insert one finger into the baby's mouth to break the suction and remove the breast. I gotta let her know. We had no idea. If the mother wishes to switch breasts, or if the latch was not good, repeat steps 1 through 6. Expert tip: never touch the back of a baby's head during feeding. This activates a pulling back reflex that can cause damage to the breast. Hold the baby by the back of the neck under the ears so your hand functions as the baby's neck support. All right, and here is figure A and B as previously mentioned. Oh man, I've missed an opportunity to use F4. The aforementioned figure A and C, or A and B, wow. How many pages are left of this chapter? Because it's already 25 minutes in. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of information on feeding. All right, we're already 25 minutes in. Unfortunately, I don't even know if I'll be able to finish chapter 3 in the next episode, because page 85 through 105, so 20 more pages of reading for this chapter. I'm gonna call it here at 26 minutes. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the next installment of the Baby's Owner's Manual. Stay tuned, and we'll keep on going and reading for you guys. All right, bye-bye.